So I'm at the Ropac gallery for Eva Helene Pade's new exhibition, which you can pause and read that introduction because it's extremely interesting as it speaks about being the observer, and it felt like in these kind of music bar club like moments. As Eva kind of recalls talking about these paintings being groups of figures that gather in intermediate spaces, for example nightclubs, theatres, the idea of dancing and collapsing and being caught in states of suspension. Some of the paintings also looked slightly sexual, I felt, as well, and maybe these were fragments of the dreamlike moment she was mentioning, and where this idea of the club and the dance could lead to physically with another person. I also do love seeing the back of a painting, I must digress. So this is just me being completely geeking out here, loving how beautiful paintings here that had an almost kind of Edvard Munch-esque quality about them, knowing that they are contemporary and just wondering how they were made. So not only looking at these grand scale of paintings, but also actually want to see the behind the framing, and I think that comes from my element as an artist as well, of, to be honest, wanting to see how others do work as well. And I found that bit really interesting for the gallery to curate this show in this particular way, and it made it a bit more interesting to walk around the paintings, to observe the paintings and actually feel like you're in these windows peeping in of debaucherous moments that may be going on. This particular one I really liked. It had a very androgynous quality about it, and even the grabbing of the flesh on the buttocks on this. Now we go upstairs. This one really does feel like it is almost a wild New Year's Eve kind of orgy of paint, to be honest, going on, and then you get these more dreamlike qualities here. Now what interests me is how the artist has actually talked about violence and ecstasy and the idea of smoke drifting through, which I'm very much getting the smoke like quality with the paint and the actual bleeding of the qualities of the pigment in this one, but also the fact that it is the actual figments. They are a figuration painter, and yet they don't focus on clothing. It is actually really is the body as a form, and it feels very poetic, it feels very beautiful, it feels a bit flirty, it feels a bit dreamy, and I just enjoyed it with this beautiful space. As you can see, the Ropac gallery is really stunning just to walk along, and that's somebody observing the painting, and it's running up until the 23rd, so I'd highly recommend you go and have a look.